let's look at the competitive landscape for a specific home improvement search phrase. We like to call this the SEO Battlefield. Let's take the phrase bathroom remodelers near me, and let's go look at some search results. It's important to note that I'm searching from a desktop computer in Raleigh, North Carolina. If you were to search on the same phrase right now from a desktop computer, you'd get completely different results. Why? Because we're in a different location and your search history is different from mine. So let's dive into dissecting this search result. Bathroom remodelers near me. What do I get? As I said, I am in Raleigh, North Carolina, so my results are going to be different from yours. Here we go. Here's an ad, an ad, an ad, another ad. Here are my map pack results. Now we get to this people also ask section. I'm going to show you a little bit more about how this works in just a second. But I mean, you've seen it. You've probably just never thought about it. What this is doing is Google is trying to give you answers without you having to click on anything. Now here's below the people also ask section, national company, national company, national company. Here's our first local result. Now let's go look at the same search from the same location at the same time on the same day from an Android phone. Okay, so let's look at this on a phone. Search on bathroom remodelers near me. We get our results. The first result is paid. It's also got some click to call buttons. Another paid result. Now we've got the map pack, followed by the people also ask section, a house listing, a Yelp listing. Find places through photos. That was not on the desktop. Angie's List, Rebath, Portofino. There's the first local company, followed by Home Advisor, another question section, which wasn't on the desktop, another question section, which wasn't on the desktop, and several results we didn't see on that first page of the desktop. So the point here is same day, same search, same location, slightly different results on a phone. Okay, now that we've looked at that same search from a desktop computer and a phone, let's examine it. We're going to take a step back and really dive into what is going on that first page. And this is what we call, like I said, the SEO battlefield, and we're going to break it down. Okay, on the right, that's a full-length screenshot of the first page of Google search results from my desktop. This red line here represents the portion of this page that fits on a typical desktop or laptop computer before you have to scroll. If I didn't scroll, the only thing I could see was ads. I had to scroll beyond that to get to anything else. All right, now if we zoom back out and look at the first full page, we can see just how much space is occupied by those paid ads. They're at the very top of the page, they're the first listing in the map pack, and they're the last 3 or 4 pages at the very bottom. Now let's look at what portion of this first page search result is actually occupied by what we like to call organic search results. That means they're not paid. They're shown here shaded in yellow. The first chunk of organic results will always be from the Google Map Pack. In fact, the way your business is going to get listed in this map section is through your Google Business Profile. This is so important that we have an in-depth lesson on setting up and optimizing your Google Business Profile in an upcoming lesson in this module. For a highly competitive term like bathroom remodelers near me, the top organic spot just below the map pack is almost always taken up by national players like Angie, Home Advisor, House, Yelp, etc. Okay, now continuing further down this page, next we have the people also ask section. This is Google's way of predicting what kind of questions people might have when they're searching on this term, and then Google is attempting to give them the answer without them having to click on anything. All right, moving down the page further, now we get to the very first local company listed on this page for the search term bathroom remodelers near me. Notice how far down the page this is, and that it's below the ads, the map, a Home Advisor link, and the people also ask section. Moving further down the page, next we have a lead aggregator. This company is not as well known as Home Advisor, Modernize, or Quinn Street, but make no mistake, it is a lead aggregator. Okay, next we have Home Depot, followed by a bunch of listings from national magazines, Lowe's Home Improvement, and other national companies. And then we get to the bottom of the page and we're back to ads. So what does this all mean? And should you throw in the towel and just give up hope? Absolutely not. What we just showed you was a small snapshot. It was one moment in time on one day from one location for an extremely competitive search phrase. That phrase was bathroom remodeling contractors. The point of this whole lesson is this. We want to encourage you to broaden your thinking beyond, quote, being number one on Google. If you get fixated on one or two phrases and you randomly search those phrases a few times a week to see where you rank, you'll drive yourself nuts. Earlier in this lesson, we showed you that often the first true local SEO result falls below the paid ads, the map pack, and the search results from national companies. The example phrase we reviewed, bathroom remodeling contractors, is what we call a tofu search phrase. Digital marketing efforts, and really all sales and marketing efforts, can be mapped to the consumer's buying journey. You might know it as the sales funnel. At the top of the funnel, consumers or buyers are exploring their options and they're getting educated. These tofu or top of the funnel keywords are usually the most competitive SEO search terms, and they're the most expensive PPC or paid ad keywords. As a small business, you'll never be able to outspend the national players for these tofu keywords. You won't outspend them on the SEO front or the PPC front. But as you move down the funnel, search phrases that fall into the MOFU, middle of the funnel, or BOFU, bottom of the funnel category, are typically less competitive. And because the buyer, or your prospective buyer, is closer to pulling the trigger, these are the terms that will produce higher conversion rates. That means the people who search on BOFU terms and then land on your site will fill out a form or call your business line at a higher rate than people who search on TOFU terms and find you that way. How can we be confident about this? Because we have the data. This is a screenshot from our client reporting dashboard for a deck builder in Virginia. We have tracking software installed so that we can see the source of all phone calls and all web form submissions. In the fourth quarter of last year, this client generated 421 exclusive leads from their marketing programs. The top 2 lead sources of all of them, or 47%, came from SEO efforts. Now, let's go take a deeper dive and check out the full picture of all of the keywords that this website ranks for. Okay, so here we are in a tool that we use to get more insight and information about what's going on with a domain. So the screen that you're looking at, I'm looking at all of the keywords that this website ranks for. Now this is a deck builder in Virginia, so I can narrow those down and search on how many of the 748 keywords that they rank for include the word deck. Look at all these: how to build a Trex deck, alternative to Trex decking, how to enclose a deck, wood-like decking. And guess what? This company installs Trex. So these are some good keywords to rank for. This is a lot of information to take in, but I know, just because I'm familiar with this tool, that these are rankings and positions nationwide. That doesn't really help a company in Virginia because they can't travel nationwide. So in this tab, what I'm showing are the 58 in Fairfax County, Virginia, the 58 keywords that we've decided are important to track are things like gazebo contractors, Northern Virginia. And in that location, they rank number 1. Gazebo contractors, gazebo porch builder, Sterling, Virginia, etc. So the reason I wanted to show you this is it's just another way to explain that quote unquote being number one on Google, it really depends on what you're asking. Are you number one for a specific search term across the United States in your county? Is it number one on mobile? Is it number one on desktop? So it's just a moving target, but what I'm hoping you'll take away is these are the keywords for the company that generated 47% of their leads from SEO efforts in the fourth quarter of 2022, even though the competition for some of those tofu top of the funnel keywords like deck builders are wildly competitive. We're not focusing on those. We're focusing on BOFU keywords and MOFU keywords, and that's how we've been successful. All right, let's wrap this lesson up and look at some of the big takeaways. First of all, even in a super competitive landscape, SEO absolutely generates leads. Next, when it comes to SEO for home improvement contractors, we believe your overall goal should be to increase your visibility and SEO footprint in your local service area. And you should identify a collection of keywords that paint a broader picture and capture those MOFU and BOFU searches. Don't get fixated on one search term and claim you want to be number one for it. And then lastly, when it comes to measurement, we think you should keep your eyes on the number of leads generated by your SEO efforts and the overall impact of your SEO campaigns on your business goals.